The main plays in the market are Humid and also Poised. Numbers 7 and 9, both on debut. Chris Waller with Humid, and Adrian with Poised. Okay, they're all locked and loaded now. And the light is on the first over 1,100 metres. Racing now. And a nice line out. Love Hunter sooled up from the wide draw, pushing forward. So's Poised underneath. And Poised will take the lead from Love Hunter narrowly. And they've opened up 2 or 3 lengths in front of Humid, railing to third. Then Good Sort Vanessa. Further back to Lychee Boulevard off the track. Triple Yes going between runners. Anna Rita back towards the inside. A length and a half to go, Zola, from Darn Cute. And Sophisticators back last of all, about 7 off the lead. So Poise leads at the 600. Triple Yes strides to second on the outside of Love Hunter. Humour gets a good run right behind them, followed by Good Sort. Delici Boulevard off the track. Then came Vanessa. Sanso between runners from Sophisticate. Anna Rita as they straighten for the run home, and Poise revved up on the inside, beat off Triple Yes. Poise got a length clear. Humid's coming off the fence from Love Hunter, and Good Sort running on. So's Delici Boulevard the outside, and Sanso heads the rest. It's Poise being joined by Delici Boulevard. Poise the inside from Delici Boulevard. Poise, Delici Boulevard. Delici bobbed and won. Delici Boulevard nailed Poised, and Sanso third, followed by Good Sort. Gap back in the field then to Anna Rita from Love Hunter, then Humid from Vanessa, Gozola Darn Cute, Sophisticate, and Triple Yes knocked up to finish a long last.
Delici Boulevard, Tommy Berry and Chris Waller combining here, $8.50 and $2. I think it's $2.60. $2 for Poised in second spot, and Sanso finishes in third spot ahead of Good Sort. There was a bit of specking for that galloper. 2, 9, 1 and 6. Well, she went to Gosford first up this preparation on a heavy track. Was pretty good. She did start favourite on that occasion, but it's obviously brought her on, and I was there that day and she looked like she needed the run, and it's done wonders for her.
Yeah, she was strong late, wasn't she? So Poise was brave in defeat out in front, gave a kick and gave them all something to chase down, but Delici Boulevard just a little bit too strong over the concluding stages with the benefit of race experience and a run under her belt. So no dramas there in the heavy conditions and the urgings of Tommy Berry. I just like the way she knuckled down that last 50 metres. Sanso, a bit of an eye-catcher in behind. It's a race we're going to have to watch a few times, because I do think there's a few horses that will be better for the outing, a few keen there in the middle stages. But yeah, no denying the winner, strong late. They all look to have their chance. They're peeling towards the middle of the track. So yeah, so far so good as far as this track is playing. Indeed.
Chris Waller's just coming over to have a chat to us about this filly by Snitzel out of a Star Witness mare. As I said, a $380,000 purchase. She started her career with another stable. She came to Chris, and Chris, she was good first up, but even better today.
Yeah, she was. Yep. Well, obviously the work had been done before we got her, but all we've done is look after her and place her, and yeah, it was a good tough win. She was out wide, but might not be a complete disadvantage today, but nonetheless she had to, I guess, cover the extra ground and make her run earlier, and yet she was still strong at the line.
Good time to be in, because she seems to be relishing these wet tracks.
Yeah, she'll probably go out shedding.
Okay.
Yes, you're right, but we'll remember that for when she returns, because you can also get softer, heavy tracks in the spring as well too. So yeah, we'll spell her now and see where she ends up in the spring. Hopefully getting out to a mile, she might get towards some better races.
Okay. Good Sort was good late?
She was, yep. Yeah, it was a learning curve for a lot of our horses in the race. Well, I think we had 5 runners, and it's important just to give them a bit of a run and some experience. Us learn, they learn, and we're better for it when they return.
Humid, what did you think of her efforts today?
First glance was probably just a bit plain, but I think, again, she'll be better as a 3-year-old and over further.
Thanks, thanks, Chris. We'll talk to you a little bit later.
Thank you.
All right, Tommy Berry just bringing in this filly, and Brad will have a chat to him. Tommy didn't ride her first up, but it doesn't look like he's been on her back at all, so be interesting to see what he says, and of course his thoughts on the track. Brad, the sun is shining now. There's a bit of blue sky about, so we may be in luck, and we may dodge the wet weather that was predicted to sort of go around us, and I think it has. Yeah,
it looks like it's just gone underneath us, so we will get a chance to chat to Tommy. And I guess the good sign is that you notice all the jockeys coming back. That track looked to have held together pretty well, not a speck of mud on him, so nice to get on the board there nice and early, Tommy.
Yeah, it's when you don't get cover, you don't get dirty, but look, these races here at Warwick Farm, especially down the back straight when the track's wet. It's usually just the horse that gets a beautiful momentum ride, and it was very messy towards my inside, a lot going on, and she was able to just flow into the race nicely, and even though she had a wide run, she balanced up well and put him to the sword.
Yeah, looked like it was going to be touch and go that last 100 metres, but she pulled out enough late to really win with a bit of authority.
Yeah, she came again. I guess she had that toughen up run first up on that heavy ground at Gosford, so she did really well coming through that. But you look at her, she's quite tall, a little bit narrow, so she's still got a bit of filling out to do. So I suggest next preparation should be a nice filly.
And just first impression on that track, how did it feel underfoot?
Yeah, just genuine heavy 8, but it's in very good order, and I don't know what the kickback was like. I never saw any.
Well done.
Cheers, thanks. That's one good way of putting it. So the numbers here, 2, 9, 1 and 6. To kick off our 8 race program here, Mick, we'll come back to you, and horses won't be too far away from making their way into the yard for race number 2 for the 2 and 3-year-olds.
Thank you for that, Shani. Delici Boulevard proving too strong there in the opening event at Warwick Farm, handling the testing conditions better than her rivals. Poised was pretty good, showed plenty of speed, boxed on well in second spot, and Sinso, who was quite easy in the betting, has wound up in third spot. So Tommy Berry claims 3 points in the Jockey Challenge and gets the first winner with Delici Boulevard, around about a $8.50 chance, certainly taking benefit from having that little bit of race experience.
Thanks, Mick. So Silver Wedding's locked away. Certainly dishes that off foreleg out there in the mounting yard. But she's been well backed here. Spicy Boy moves in, Kasna moves in, and we're getting close to action. $100,000 Maiden. For the 2 and 3-year-olds, the light's on and the gates are back. They're off. No speed at all by True and More, and Tatalia settles well back. Plaza's handled the start well in the pale blue jacket, with Tapani quickly whipping up on the inside. Kasna goes to third. Zealously ridden off the speed in fourth, and improving towards the inside now, Tatalia. Further back to True and More than Spicy Boy, Silver Wedding. Last of all is simply Nutbush. So Tapani takes the lead now by a length. In second position, Plaza, 2.5 to Kasna, followed by Zealously. Then came Tatalia back towards the midfield position on the outside of True More than Spicy Boy, Silver Wedding, and Simply Nutbush sees them all. Tapani at the 400 metres, Tapani in front by 3/4 to Plaza. Kasna stoked up in third, Tatalia creeping into it behind. Tapani swings in front of Plaza. Tatalia taking a gap, running on well, and then came Kasna zealously as they race inside the 200. It's Tatalia, Plaza. Kasna shows fight. Tatalia just in front from Kasna, and Tatalia wins today. Tatalia a half length to Kasna. Silver Wedding got up for third, with Plaza shut out at the 100 back into fourth. Further back to Zealously, True and More. Tapani weakened out from Simply Nutbush, and Spicy Boy was last in.
Tatalia takes out race number 2 here. Zach Lloyd for James Cummings pays $4.50. Kasna finishes second, adds another placing to her record, $2.40. And Silver Wedding, the stablemate, has run a nice race, getting into third. And Eyecatcher, I think that might be the one to follow there. Silver Wedding, Plaza in fourth spot. But Tatalia, it was his day today, Brad, and he salutes the money was right. There was good support for him.
Yeah, it looked a tricky race on paper, but 100% right, Shenny. There was really good support for him over the last few minutes, and that was justified. So a nice strong winner there. You thought that Kasna was the one that was potentially going to come out of the pack and raise a bit of an effort, but to his credit, he obviously bounced off that first up run and improved enough to just squeeze through the gap and make it count at the finish. Plaza had excuses, probably should have finished a touch closer, got a little bit tight there over the concluding stages. She looked to have something to offer. I do think she's heading in the right direction, and Silver Wedding was the eye catcher, so the full sister to Schwartz. Just got a little bit lost back in the ruck, but was doing her best work through the line. So you're right, might be one to follow next time out, potentially over a touch further. But yeah, good bets landed there with Tatalia.
Indeed, so he came here for his first up run. Got back in the pack there, and he battled away okay, beaten about 5 lengths on that occasion, but he comes here today and second up, first time on a heavy track, but seemed to get through it well enough, and he's recorded his first win at start number 4. Daz, didn't realise how little he was. He certainly hasn't grown.
No, he's a little pocket rocket, isn't he? But he packs a mighty punch. There's not a lot to him, but what he lacks in size, he's got in effort.
What did the stable think of his first up run?
We thought it was a beauty. If he would have drawn a better gate, he would have been in a lot more forward position, more prominent. He didn't really lose any ground from the home corner to the winning post, and he just had to make that bit of a long run, and being first up, that told on him late. So there was a lot of merit in his run, but with the soft draw today, being here from last start, he knew where the surroundings were, and obviously he was trained here early days. But gave the horse a lot of confidence, and lovely ride by Zach. He was able to let the speed go, hot speed, chime into it, and have an uninterrupted run, and went through them in a real professional manner.
He got up over 1,300 last campaign. Would you think that they'd try him out over further or keep him around these short courses?
Well, look, he's probably size doesn't. You wouldn't say that he'd be getting over. I think 1,300, 1,400 would be ideal for him. But the two darn hots are in scintillating form at present, with broadsiding winning on Saturday, and this little fella winning today. He's obviously he stamps his progeny, and broadsiding's not an overly big horse, but they're mentally tough, and when the chips are down, they really fight.
They do. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, Zach just unsettling this fella. He rode him here first up, so he knows the horse relatively well, and he's going to come over and have a chat to Brad. So not overly big, he's quite a cute little fella to look at, and it was a good win there today, Brad.
Yeah, he's on the board, Talia, and he looks a colt heading in the right direction, Zach.
Yeah, he's a lovely colt out of Two Darn Hut. He just taking a bit of time to mature and realise what racing's all about. He still gets himself a bit worked up pre-race. You'd like to see him just mellow out a touch, but I think he's saved himself as a colt for another day.
And it was good to see him take that gap when the opportunity did present.
Yeah, the race panned out perfectly. He began well, put himself in a nice spot. Obviously, it was a hot tempo, and he relaxed really nicely. Just needed a bit of luck at the top of the straight, and he was game enough to go through that. It was good through the line, so I think that suggests he'll be even better over further.
Nice ride, well done.
Thank you.
So Tatalia takes out race number 2. Kazna finishes second. Adds another placing to her record. She's consistent. I'm sure Connections will be hoping she can win her maiden quick, smart. And then Silver Wedding, I think, is the horse to follow out of the race. Was certainly doing his best work late in the piece. 6, 3, 9 and 4 on the second event here, Mick.
Thank you, Shani. Yeah, Tatalia, who was sort of being chased up for much of the journey, just kept on running on though. It was a good effort, wasn't it? Diving up between horses at the top of the straight, and was relatively strong on the line, giving the impression that he's probably going to get over a little bit more ground in time, perhaps 1,400 metres down the track. Kazna very consistent. Silver Wedding, as you mentioned, Shani, the eye catcher. From the second half of the field. There was some money around to suggest she would run well today, and Plaza looked a little unlucky. Looked like she was going to be in the finish there somewhere and just got chopped out at...
One of the last to go forward, and a summer soiree. So Scuba's been heavily back. She went to the barriers there with the pony, but she's trialled up really well, leading to her debut today. And half the country seems to be on her, Scuba. There's the light. Racing. She's jumped out reasonably well, Scuba. Summer Soiree handled the start nicely and is going to lead. Scuba on the improve. Deep out there is Sweet Proposal in the red jacket. Sweet Proposal goes to second. Scuba third. Followed by Fame Mizzou, then Warrior Princess, I Am Famous. Well back Fire Island. And So You Star is going to settle last of all. Summer Soiree hacking along in the lead and whipping up on the outside. Sweet Proposal to eyeball Herf. 2 lengths away to the heavily backed Scuba. Followed by Fame Mizzou, I Am Famous, wider out going forward. In front of Warrior Princess, So You Star. And now Fire Island had dropped back to last of all. 600 to go. Summer Soiree by a half on Sweet Proposal. Then came Scuba, Fame Mizzou, I Am Famous off the course without cover. Warrior Princess off the bridle from Fire Island, and So You Star 6 off the lead last of all. Summer Soiree and Sweet Proposal turn together. Now Scuba being roused along, and I Am Famous went straight past her. The favourites dropping out. It's Summer Soiree in front. I Am Famous lengthening hard on the outside. I Am Famous lays it down to Summer Soiree. Not much between the pair. I Am Famous, Summer Soiree. The grey I Am Famous with a nose in front just wins I Am Famous from Summer Soiree and Sweet Proposal third. Followed then by Fire Island, Faye Mizzou, So You Star, Warrior Princess and the plunge filly Snooper has finished a long last.
3 I Am Famous records her first victory here this afternoon and she pays $6.70, I think it is, $1.70 the place. Summer Soiree. She was gallant in defeat, $1.90 and $1.70 for her stablemate Sweet Proposal. But it is I Am Famous. This is the best of what we've seen from her. This is what we're waiting to be seen. But she was absolutely friendless, Brad. She got out as far as $7.50 at one point, back into $6.50 and pays $6.70 on the tote.
Yeah, with all the money for the stablemate, she got right out in betting. Somebody forgot to tell her, though, because she always travelled sweetly. It looked like James McDonald was riding with plenty of confidence there. Coming to the turn, just balanced her up, settled outside the leader, or the leaders, and including the stablemate Snooper, who offered very little in the straight. But to her credit, she dug in for the fight. Here she was on heavy ground first up, which shouldn't be underestimated, and she got through the conditions well enough to get past the race-fit Summer Soiree, who did get on-speed favours. So, yeah, nicely bred, this filly, a half to Classique legend. Still a while to go to live up to the lofty CV of a horse like that, but she's on her way, and I wouldn't be surprised to see her coast through the grades.
All right, James has come back that quickly that he's caught us off guard. That's what we wanted to see from this girl, and she seemed to travel through it quite well.
Yeah, she's a bit of a momentum filly. She's got a bit of a mind of her own, and we kept her happy today. And she got into a lovely rhythm, albeit wide. She strode into it nicely.
That'll give her a lot of confidence now, wouldn't it?
I think so. Yeah, she's really powerful sort of filly, but she just needs to take a breath at times, and the 1300 here enables her to get into a nice rhythm.
Well done.
Thanks.
All right, I'm going to grab Chris because I told him that I didn't need him and now he's walked off, so that's okay. We'll catch up with Chris a little bit later on. He came back too quick for me, Brad. I wasn't ready for him, but we'll catch up with Chris about this filly a little later on. But she takes out the third event, so the numbers will read 3, 7, 8 and 2. Anything to add?
No, she's a nice filly, obviously, so a bit immature. We heard from Chris Waller pre-race there to suggest that she's got the makings of a nice filly, and it was good to see her do that. So encouraging signs going forward, and dare I suggest she might be even more dynamic when we see her on top of the ground.
Most certainly. All right, Mick, back to you, and we'll join you again for race 4 soon.
Here's Shani. Yeah, good performance from I Am Famous. She covered a bit of ground. Maybe that's not such a disadvantage today on the heavy 8 track, but she always travelled nicely. She made good improvement coming to the home corner, and when she let down, she was always going to be right there. Summer Soiree, to her credit, really dug in for the fight and has only gone under narrowly. And one of the fillies they put good money on, Sweet Proposal, back in third spot. So 3, 7, 8 and 2, the placings race number 3 at Warwick Farmers.
Just waiting for the situation to calm down. There's plenty of noise in the gates. We're getting closer now. Gates are back, they're off. Eye of the Fire anticipated the start brilliantly and bounced straight to the front. From Yendi, More Mischief, and now One Destiny on the improve with Cosmonova whipping up on the rails. Further back to the Extreme Cat from Untouchable Legend. Now back in the field is Single Benefactor together with Satum on the outside at Land Wind. Deceive taken back from Diabello. And Invasive Dream settles down last of all. Eye of the Fire leads the way narrowly. From One Destiny, a length off to Cosmonova going to third on the inside of Yendi. Further back to More Mischief on the outside of the Extreme Cat, then Land Wind, Single Benefactor. Saturn back on the inside. Now wider out Untouchable Legend and Deceive as they race inside the 400. One Destiny boots up on the inside of Eye of the Fire. Cosmonova's out now, being roused along on the outside. One Destiny, Eye of the Fire. Cosmonova's got the job to get there. Then Land Wind. Saturn running up behind them. One Destiny showing a good kick here. Saturn goes up the inside, but One Destiny in front. front. One Destiny from Satum, and One Destiny lands a good odds plunge there. One Destiny just got in from Satum, and Land Win third. They beat off Cosmonova, Eye of the Fire, then Invasive Dreams making late headway on the rails. Further back to Diabello from More Mischief, the Extreme Cat Yendi, Single Benefactor Deceive, and Untouchable Legend was towards the rear of the field.
14, One Destiny. Well done if you got the 26s that were on offer this morning, because he ends up paying at $10.80 on the tote and $2.80, $2.20 Satombe, and $2.70 then for Landwind. Still waiting on that fourth number. It's between 1 and 5. But all honours with number 14, One Destiny. You mentioned this morning that he was good value. Obviously, the punters jumped on. He loves a wet track here at his home track, and he was too good.
And he was on the backup too, so backup horses on wet tracks. So yeah, somebody out there got something out of him, because as you say, Shani, $26 bet this morning into as short as $9.50 and jumped $11 tab fixed odds. So he's a pretty well exposed horse. That's now 6 wins from 40 starts, but after the claim of Molly Burke, he was well in with 56 kilos, bounced out, made his own luck, and he was really tough at the finish. So Satombe maybe had a little excuse there, having to duck back towards the fence, which is probably the inferior ground, but she stuck on really well. I wouldn't be dropping off Eye of the Fire. I think he's a horse that is just looking for a firmer deck. His wheels just spun there when asked to quicken in the straight. He was met with a lot of late support, and Cosmonova just peaked on a run that last little bit. She'll strip fitter for that and can go close in something similar. But plunge lands here, One Destiny too strong.
Indeed. I'm just having a look to see if I can see Gary Nixon. Apparently he is here on track, and I should see a big grin walking towards me any moment now. I just can't quite spot him. So there he is. He's down there and he's making his way up towards the mounting yard. I'm not sure if he can see me waving at him, but he'll be absolutely stoked that this fella has recorded his 6th win at start number 40 here this afternoon. He's actually only had one go at the track prior to this, and that was a 3rd placing here, probably some time ago, but he's got a great wet track record. He's had 10 goes now for a win and 4 minor placings, and as I said, he was about $26 earlier this morning. He was well supported. He got into as short as $10 there on the fixed odds, and absolutely relished the wet ground this afternoon with the 3 kilo claim, which was very valuable there from Molly Burke. So Gary just having a stop and a chat. He's very excited, I can tell. Come over here, Gary. Well done.
Thank you, Shani.
Did you get just over here on the cross for me, please? Did you get some of the 26s on offer?
We had a couple of dollars on him. He's just a horse that today I said to Molly, just let him run his own race. Don't push, don't pull, just let him come back over these and run his own race. I said, if he's travelled with his turn of the quarter, he'll be right at it. Plus, in fact, we brought him back to 1100.
Yeah.
You know.
What were you thinking at the top of the straight?
I thought he'll be hard to beat. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. He's been in work for a long time. I know you give him a little bit of freshen up, but do you do much with him in between?
Not really. He works over the polo field a lot, and we take him off the pony. But we were umming and ahhing to turn him out after today. But might be second thought. And the owner said, I really don't want to take him home in the middle of winter because it's too cold.
No, keep him in work and try and find these wet tracks.
Yeah. No, and he likes the wet.
He does.
Yeah. You go through his form. He's a good horse, the wet.
Yeah.
No, he's a beautiful big horse, and there's more wins in store for him. But he's just got to, find the right races.
That's up to you. Yeah. Well done.
Thanks very much.
Here's Molly with Brad.
Yeah, I am with Molly here, and a tough win there from a horse on the quick turnaround.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think I finally just worked him out a bit, had advice from previous jockeys just to let him be happy, and I let him just be where he wanted to be, let him go his own pace early, and yeah, he really showed a good finish on him today.
And from his past form, you can tell that he's very comfortable in heavy going.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was a big advantage towards him today. He's at his home track on a wet track, and yeah, really loved it.
Well done.
Thank you.
And numbers here on race number 4, 14, 13, 3 and 5. Cosmonova finishes in that 4th spot. 14, 13, 3 and 5. Mick, the next race will be the first leg of our quaddie coming up soon.
Thanks for that, Shani. A nice performance from One Destiny, as you've touched on. Well supported, $26 into $10. Was able to kick up, hold the lead, and was just full of running. Was able to maintain a margin in the run to the line. Satombe's made good late headway down close to the inside, and Landwin back in 3rd spot. So 14 13, 3 and 5 the placings. Well done if you managed to find one Destiny well back from a long...
Oh, Naval Commission, the favourite, just rearing up there, barrier 1. The light is on now, and we're ready to go. Naval Commission just having the head straightened up. There it is now. Good line. Racing now. Badly out of the gates was Broadfield. Broadfield's going to settle down a conspicuous last. Naval Commission jumped well on the fence. Being sent forward wide out is Doro Choice. Funambulist right there between them. Just Go Bang handy on the inside is So Sleek. Then came Earth Dance from Mars a bit our Marianne. And Broadfield, after that very scratchy start, is now starting to tack on at the tail of the field. Nash has got the favourite in front, Naval Commission, shooting for 3 in a row today and leads from the long price Doro Choice, followed by Just Go Bang, who positions on the inside of Funambulist. 2 lengths away to So Sleek, is racing a touch keen in front of Mars a bit, then Earth Dance, and now the last 2. Broadfield getting up on the inside of our Marianne. So Naval Commission at the 1400 metres leads the way by a half to a neck there on Doro Choice. Just Go Bang tugging along on the inside of Funambulist. They're followed by So Sleek on the outside of Mars a bit. Quite a few of these are pulling in the run. Earth Dance is now starting to fire up a little bit on the outside of Broadfield, and our Marianne is last of all. So the favourite here going as slow as possible in the mid part of the race, Naval Commissioner, and it's got plenty of runners pulling in the field. So Naval Commission in front by a half length to Doro Choice the outside. Then Funambulist just showing Just Go Bang, a length and a half to So Sleek. 2 off to Mars a bit from Earth Dance. And the last 2, Broadfield and our Marianne. No change to the order as they race to the 800 metres. Naval Commission ahead in front now to Doro Choice, and Funambulist rolls closer in a 3-wide position to third. Just Go Bang plonked fourth on the fence, then So Sleek. Further back to Broadfield, improving its position. Earth Dance gets going the outside from Mars a bit, and our Marianne last about 5 off the front runner. So it's Naval Commission a narrow leader with Funambulist really being scrubbed up on the outside. So Sleek gets going together with Earth Dance, and now Marianne going right around the field. Game on into the straight. Naval Commission in front. Narrowly from Funambulist, So Sleek, Earth Dance, and now Marianne. It's Naval Commission in front. 200 to go from Funambulist, sticking on a length away. But Naval Commission's at a soft lead. There's gas in the tank. Funambulist can't get there, and Naval Commission led all the way. Naval Commission a length and a quarter. Funambulist. Photo third. Mars a bit, possibly a nose in front of So Sleek. Then Just Go Bang, Earth Dance, further back to Doro Choice, Broadfield, and our Marianne.
Favourite Too Good, that makes it 3 on the trot for Naval Commission. Nash Rawilla riding for Kieran Maher, 260, 130, 130 for Funambulist. That was the horse that had all the support late, and Marzabit has run another honest race, paying 280 in third spot. So Sleek will wind up in fourth. 5, 3, 9 and 7. Brad, were you confident throughout?
Yeah, the market got it pretty right in the end, didn't it? So I think Nash slipped the balaclava on there in the midway point of the race, because looking at those splits there in the middle sections, 13.85, 14.16, 14.33 and 13.66. So he had a sprint there when it counted. You could see Nash was just holding him together for as long as possible into the straight. Had a wall of horses creep up towards his outside, but he rode with plenty of confidence and had enough there in the tank to hold off Funambulist, who did stick on well. He was met with good support late himself. He stuck on in typical Funambulist style, but he looks to be a stay going places, Naval Commission. I still don't think we've seen the best of him yet.
No, indeed. We're just waiting for Joe to come over and have a chat to us again here. He did a pre-race, now he tells me he doesn't have to do a post-race, but I did tell him that most of our interviews had been good luck interviews. There was nothing to worry about. That was a nice ride from Nash, and the horse is certainly going in the right direction.
Yeah, it was a nice ride. Once he got to the front, he could just control. Yeah, like I say, he loves the weight, the horse. Distance was no issue. He's very fit. So once he got there, he had an easy time in front. He was always going to be hard to catch.
Do you know if Kieran has anything in mind for him going forward now?
No, we haven't. Yeah, there was an option next week if we wanted to back him up, but yeah, it might be a bit better than a midweek. It's the right time of the year on those wet tracks. It's good prize money to be won in town. But yeah, he's a horse who's still on the way up, and the good thing about horses, you just never know when they're going to stop improving. But yeah, great to get a winner for Dynamic. They've been very patient with that horse, and obviously they're getting rewarded now.
Is he a horse at home that takes a bit of work, or once he reaches his peak there, he's able just to maintain it?
Yeah, no, we don't have to too much with him in between runs. We can't do nothing with him because, as I said before, he's very pushy. So need to keep that freshness out of him. But yeah, it's just about ticking over in between races, and yeah, he's full of confidence and he's enjoying his racing.
Well done, Joe.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, he summed it up perfectly. He's very pushy. He's taking a couple of people to get him around, and Nash is about to go over and have a chat to Brad. Nash has been on board him in his past couple. You can talk to Brad today, Nash. A little bit of a change. Yeah, lucky him.
Yeah, Nash, you can see there, even in the tie-ups, he's still got a bit of a mind of his own, but obviously he's a very promising stay going forward.
Yeah, I think so. He just sort of one of those horses that he likes the competition. Like he sort of, it was probably Adam's view more than mine to try and lead today, which ended up a bit of a master plan, because when he sort of got there and pricked his ears, every time one came at him he found again, and it just took any bad luck that his mental immaturity would find sort of out of the equation. So we all got to see what he sort of can do, and he's the type of horse that always feels like there's an extra 3 lengths there. So I think he's definitely a Saturday class horse of the future. He's just going to take the time for the penny to drop completely.
Well done.
Cheers.
Punters should still be alive in the first leg of the quaddie, with the favourite taking out race number 5, 5, 3, 9 and 7. Mick will join you again shortly for race 6.
It's the first leg of the quaddie in good style. Naval Commission was able to stack them up in front, Nasharawilla, and drive away in the straight. Good performance. Funambulous, very consistent, tried hard. He'll get into second, and Marzabit, who waited for them all to make their runs, has just chased home the last little bit into third spot. So Sleek back in fourth. 5, 3, 9 and 7.
And French Marine will be the last. So we've got a field of 14 running here in the triple time at Darley Handicap. And the French Marine up to the outside draw. West of Africa, the post-time favourite at $5. There's the light, and we're ready to go. Racing now. West of Africa only jumped fairly. French Marine wide out anticipated the start well. Together with Oz Star is right there in the early part. Poker Jack not too far away, and now West of Africa's rolling forward on the outside of Marnix. Then came Doulatila. In Defining not too far away in the mid part of the field, and that clump is West of Africa drifts back now. Atlantic Ocean surges forward. Rebel Shadow going forward. They're followed further back by Smart Little Miss. Now Cool Lad wedged between runners. Just had to snatch up a bit there. Sovereign Express drops back, and so does Hide Your Heart. French Marine takes the lead now from Poker Jack, and striding up on the outside is Marnix on the outside of Oz Star. They're followed just behind the speed then to pretty handy as well as Edmund up there in that leading division. Defining about wide bit of cover on the outside of Doulatila. Atlantic Ocean in the middle of the ruck. West of Africa the widest as they turn. French Marine from Poker Jack. Edmund out wide. Now West of Africa winding up on the outside. Defining trying to go with him. It's West of Africa. Defining. French Marine fighting back on the inside. And Hide Your Heart's bursting on the scene late. 4 chances here. Stretched across the track. Defining in the middle. And West of Africa. They've hit it together. West of Africa and Defining. French Marine and Hide Your Heart in it for third. Then Sovereign Express close up. Followed by Poker Jack, Atlantic Ocean, Rebel Shadow. Further back, Cool Lad, Marnix and Oz Star. Tight.
Well, I've got absolutely no idea. Darren seems to think it's between West of Africa and Defining. You've got Hope in Your Heart, Hide Your Heart, I should say, out wide. She hasn't finished in the top 3, I don't think. It's going to be West of Africa. West of Africa. Just, I think, Defining, possibly second. Over on the inside will be French Marine, and then you've got Hide Your Heart. I think she's going to miss the top 3, Brad, but I don't want to say that in case she does. But either way, what a great finish.
Yeah, look at that. It's a 4-way go, but no denying the winner or doubting the winner. West of Africa gets his nose down right on the line when it counts, and he did a good job. He covered ground, he made a wide sustained run, and he was there in a very busy finish. French Marine obviously in the finish as well. I thought Hide Your Heart was going to get right into the numbers there, and she did. Just a shame that she wasn't good enough that last little bit, but certainly learned a bit of jostling there halfway down the straight. But yeah, take nothing away from the winner. He's returned a gelding this time back, and he showed really good desire to get his nose down when it counted.
Indeed. I'm just going to go up and try and find Annabelle. So numbers will read 12, 4, 16 and 8. 11 will finish in 5th spot, but Annabelle has got the Quinella here, and she's going to come down and have a chat to me. So West of Africa defeats Defining, albeit very narrowly, but he gets the job done, and it was a great finish, a 4-way go over the line, and numbers actually came up pretty quickly. Annabelle's with me now. Well done. Both your horses fighting out the finish. I don't know which way you look, but I tell you what, it was a big run from him today.
Yeah, he sort of had no reason to win that race. And it was always going to be a tough run from the draw, but I'd be interested to see what James thinks. But I thought he was really tough. He obviously had to come pretty wide around the corner, but that's where you need James in those finishes. He gets every little bit of energy out of the horses, and he deserved that win. He's been knocking on the door, this horse, for a while.
The mare was good, Defining?
Yeah, she was great. You sort of almost wish it's a dead heat when it's a finish like that. I don't think I've ever had a finish that close with 2 of our runners, but she just keeps on giving, and she's just a really fun horse for the owners. Every time she goes around, she puts in, and seems to always run really well here at this track, so her day will come again.
Well done, and I'll let James talk to Brad.
I'm with James over here, and you've made a couple of very happy Blues supporters up there in the stands, James.
It's nice to make someone happy, you know.
So this horse, obviously, had a bit of a wide run. You just kept him in a rhythm, and he was there. He was brave at the finish.
Yep, it was a real condensed sort of race. There wasn't much from first to last, and probably in the best spot, to be fair, because I was able to roll into it, and he made a solid surge to the line, but he had to tough it out. He did it the tough way, but his runs have been good, and he was here to run really well.
Well done.
Hey, Brad, I want to ask you. You tipped Hide Your Heart, that's beaten
Thank
a
you
nose
for
by a
reminding me,
nose
Shani.
by
Yep.
a nose.
Yep.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, great. When you get beaten done half ahead and you run fourth and you make something each way at $14, great.
You've tipped something at good value and it's only been narrowly beaten, or does that make it worse?
Yeah, it's worse for the time being, but as time goes on, time heals all wounds. But I thought she was there to win, actually. When she kind of got pocketed and she bustled into the clear, you thought she was going to come with a run, maybe just a run short being first up, but yeah, stick with her because I think she's a nice mare. I just don't think we'll be getting $14 next time.
No, you'll probably be getting about $4, I'd say. So West of Africa takes out the second leg of the quaddie, defeating Defining, French Marine and Hide Your Heart. Mick?
Thanks, Shani. Yeah, look, I know the feeling, Brad. Hide Your Heart, well founded, a big price, was ready to run well, and beaten a very slender margin back in 4th spot, and you get nothing out of it. Couldn't have run 3rd at least, but anyway. West of Africa, I'm sure there's plenty of happy punters out there on board this chestnut by not a single doubt. Nice ride from James McDonald, getting the better of a Defining, who was very brave in defeat. French Marine, nice effort at a little bit of a price back in 3rd spot, and Hide Your Heart will have to keep.
McDonald aboard a Marty, shooting for a treble. He got there right on the wire in the previous to win by a nose on West of Africa. Red light is on. Ready now for race 7. Precise Air Handicap over 1,200 metres. Racing now. And Look Only jumped out quite sharply together with African Daisy out wide, and now Oz Emperor showing good speed with Chili Philly handy. But African Daisy has it early from Oz Empress, and charging into third now is Demiana, followed by Look Only and Valencia on the improve as Chili Philly drops back. On the outside is Arena Safina, then came Molly Niles, Dazzling Lucy back on the fence. Further back to Ringa Rosa, Southern Chili, and in the white cap, Amati settles last of all. They find their positions, African Daisy and Oz Empress. They're going toe-to-toe up in the lead with Demiana in a very handy third, followed by Look Only on the inside of Chili Philly. Valency between them in sixth. Then came Serena Sophia to the outside. Dazzling Lucy back to the inside from Molly now. Southern Chili, Ringa Rosa, Amati on the fence last of all. Oz Empress, African Daisy spin together. A length away to Demiana the outside. Dazzling Lucy goes back to the inside, running on. African Daisy at the 200, just in front from Demiana. African Daisy being joined by Demiana, then Dazzling Lucy, Amani. Wide out, Demiana surging now, and Demiana finished stronger. And Demiana got up to beat African Daisy with Amati third, followed by Dazzling Lucy, Molly Nails, and then came Ringa Rosa from Valency, Serena Sophia, Southern Chili, Oz Empress, and Chili Philly was the last to finish.
16, Demiana. Karen McAvoy on board for Chris Waller. 6.10, 2.50 defeats African Daisy, who has run really well here. $3.90. Amati, she's run well. First up, $4.20. And Dazzling Lucy was in fourth spot. 16, 9, 15 and 8. The numbers will read, Brad. But Demiana, you made a case for her off her first up run. She's been too good here second up.
Yeah, it's good to see her do that, because if there was a conviction, it's the fact that she's only won the one race prior to this, but now she's got a second one on the board, and what a lovely ride there from Karen McAvoy. I don't think too many speed maps would have had her one out, one back, and she was pretty much the difference there, just having her that little bit closer, stalked the speed, got on the back of African Daisy, who didn't give it away without a good fight there in the straight, so she's clearly returned well, and she'll be better placed over a touch further. She loves these wet conditions. Dazzling Lucy made some kind of run up the inside, maybe wasn't all that comfortable in the ground, but good to see a bit of fight there from Demiana. And you're right about Amati, Shani, a real eye catcher late, and she too will be better suited over a touch further in time.
Yeah, she definitely wasn't she? Looking forward to seeing her going around second up. But all on is with Demiana. Chris is with me again. She landed in a beautiful spot. Did you expect her to be that close?
No, I didn't. But not taking anything away from Kieran, he won the race. So, yeah, it just landed. We thought midfield, maybe a pair closer, but yeah, Kieran's used his initiative, and yeah, it was a well-deserved win. She didn't get a lot of luck last start, and I think it's worth thanking Racing New South Wales for putting this race on, because it's Saturday prize money, and it's a big deal to these types of horses and their owners, obviously more so the owners than the horses. Yeah, 160,000 prize money is goes a long way, and that's why people want to race their horses in Sydney.
Do you have anything in mind for her?
Similar race in a couple of weeks' time, if we can find one. No lofty expectations, but as I said, like these races are a big deal to these types of horses, so just try and win a couple more.
Amati was really good first up?
Really good, yeah, that was good return, and she obviously handles the conditions, so she should get her a chance in the next few weeks.
I didn't get to ask you about I Am Famous. You would have been pleased with that return from her?
Really pleased, yeah. She was an expensive filly, and Mr. Vasali has given us the option to give her plenty of time, which we've done, and you can see she's just starting to mature, and that was a really good return today, so look for better things.
Well done, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, Karen's just having the iPhone interview has jumped in on front of us, Brad. We'll just have to wait patiently, and Karen will, oh no, he's released him. Damien's released him. Thanks for that. Brad's with Karen.
We've just butted in there halfway through. Sorry about that, Karen. But just on this mare, it was good to see you get a little bit closer in the run, and that was the difference.
Yeah, sort of. She began like a rocket and went out there with a bit of an open plan. But Chris did say, look, she might be sort of midfield, trailing them in that three wide line. But as I said, she began really well and was able to put herself in a forward spot, which I was happy enough to take up that option. And she travelled nice. Nash came across and gave us a backside for a little while around the corner, and I always felt the winner, and then she got the job done nicely. Yep.
Yeah, you could always tell down the straight there was going to be a two-horse war, but it was good to see her show a bit of determination, a bit of grit to get home.
That's right, yeah, she'd had a few starts, a few problems on the way, but she'd only won one race, so it was pleasing to see her come out and do that today. Obviously, a few weeks ago she looked unlucky, only getting out late at Rose Hill, so
nice to see her get the job done for today for Connections. Yep.
Well done, Karen.
Thanks.
And we have a notable absence here this afternoon. Charlie Duckworth and Kathy O'Hara, they welcomed in a baby girl this time, well, Tuesday last week, so congratulations to the pair of them. Charlie's a doting father already, so Charlie's probably got her in one arm and cheering on the Waller horses there. So well done to Charlie and Kathy, and I'm sure we'll see him back at the races soon. Demiana takes out race number 7 from African Daisy, Amadi and Dazzling Lucy. 16-9, 15 and 8. We've got one more race to come.
Nice effort there from Demiana, taking out race number 7 at Warwick Farm. For Chris Waller, Kieran McAvoy with a perfect ride, 6.10, $2.50, defeating African Daisy, who's performed above market expectations in second spot, and Amadi back in third. So 16, 9, 15 and 8, the placings on race number 7 from Warwick Farm.
There's the light, ready to run. Inquiring Minds a hot favourite now. Into odds on. Racing now. And Inquiring Minds was one of the best into stride. There's a real swarm for the lead. Knight's Armour going forward. Time Quest is handy. And now Danish Prince is really rushing up on the outside. With intent here, Danish Prince is going to cross the field and lead. From Knight's Armour, then Time Quest. And the favourite Inquiring Minds goes to a clear fourth. 2.5 to Always Sure in the early stages, followed by Rise to It in the running line. A couple further back to Parabolum on the inside of Loco. Back second last Spitfire, and in Tutu sees them all. So at least 10 lengths, maybe 12 covers the field. Danish Prince the front runner by a length to Knight's Armour. Time Quest well positioned. So's the favourite Inquiring Minds. 2 lengths away to Always Sure on the outside of Rise to It, followed by Loco on the outside of Parabolum, and the last 2 in Tutu on the outside of Spitfire. So Danish Prince keeps up an even gallop in the lead. Danish Prince by a length on Knight's Armour. 2 lengths away to Time Quest on the inside of Inquiring Minds. Further back than to Always Sure from Rise to It, going up the inside, and a gap back in the field to Loco, who's under a punishing ride. Danish Prince goes to the 400 metres in front by a length on Knight's Armour. Inquiring Minds the favourite is hooking wide, and Time Quest running up behind them, got crowded for room there. Danish Prince had allowed an opportunity to kick. Time Quest takes an inside run. Inquiring Minds is only labouring. It's Danish Prince in front. Danish Prince with 100 metres to go. Time Quest is chipping away. Danish Prince clinging on near the line, and close. Diving there, Time Quest, I'm not sure. Danish Prince, Time Quest, a gap back to Always Sure third, followed by Loco warming up at the end. Then Rise to It from Knight's Armour, Spitfire, Parabolum. Boy, Inquiring Minds was disappointing dropping out, and in Tutu.
Oh, tight go. You've got Danish Prince, who just kept fighting, and you've got Time Quest. Okay, Danish Prince gets it on the outside just ahead of Time Quest. There was a bit of money for Time Quest late. Always Sure will finish third, and Loco was doing his best work late in the piece. Tight finish to the end of the day, but the outside gets it.
Yeah, it was heads up, heads down, a stride in front of the line, a stride after the line. Time Quest was in front, but when it counts, he gets his bib right down on the line. Danish Prince made his own luck from on top of the speed, and he just kept on running, didn't he? So we'll have a look at the head-on and just see if there's anything in this. I don't think anything was at fault there. Rachel King and Danish Prince, he just held his line there, and the runner-up was just ducking and weaving and looking for a run. Does it get a touch tight up the fence? Maybe we'll hear a little bit more about that. A little bit tight there, just in running halfway down the straight. Yeah, tight go. So we'll leave that to the connection to see if they want to lodge an objection, but at the moment it was a very tight margin, so maybe they will have a throw at the stumps there. But to this point, first runner home was Danish Prince beating Time Quest.
He's just a tough, honest galloper, and Mark's making his way down. Just over here for me, please, Mark. Congratulations. He's tough. He's had a lot of racing, but what did you do today? You put the blinkers on and took the winkers off.
Yeah, he's a sort of bit of a funny horse to sort of deal with. Didn't have a lot of luck the other day. Scone, probably back a bit too far off the speed. You just got to put him in the race, and I think today he was in the fight, and he was able to hold him off, and it was a great ride by Rachel.
What's the trick to keeping him in work for so long? Do you do a lot with him?
No, he's just a tough old horse. We bred him ourselves, and he's tough. We don't do a lot with him. As you see, we took the winkers off, put blinkers back on today. So just little things. Before the race, he's out the back in the type stores, literally bucking his brand off physically. So he was in a good place, and he's come out here and performed today.
You got another race in mind?
We'll find a race in a couple of weeks for him.
Well done.
Thank you.
All right, Rachel, bringing back this gelding by Dane Shadow. He's out of a Mossman mare, start number 45, win number 6, and 13 minor placings. Prior to today, he'd only had the one run here at his home track, and he'd run second on that occasion, but he's chalked up, as I said, win number 6. Blinkers on again and winkers off, just changing things around with these older geldings, and it's done the trick. So Rachel's about to go over and have a chat to Brad, and you can get her thoughts.
Yeah, he's a beauty, this horse. He just turns up preparation after preparation.
He does, yeah. Like, he was super tough today. He got out there and enjoyed himself in front. He does enjoy his home track, and Mark had him in super order.
It was pretty tight at the finish. Were you always confident that you got the bob?
I was confident, yeah, and he sort of got taken off his feet as well when the other horse sort of forced a bit of a run. So he did a good job to get himself balanced again and still have the guts to win.
Good way to end. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, Brad, well, that wraps up a pretty good day of racing here at Warwick Farm.